Tell me, Miss Rose, when it rained, what happened?
Water started coming in around the stovepipe, in the stovepipe. It actually flooded the whole inside of my attic area that came down into my living room. I had paint peeling from around my stovepipes.
So this was less protection than what you had before
Yes.
the defendant got involved?
Yes.
You have a video?
I do.
What is a video of?
The video is going to show you the water that is coming in the home, and also sounds that it's making and has been all winter with just the continuous rain that we've had all winter long on the stovepipe, rusting out the stove itself.
Okay, let's watch a video.
So this is actually my stovepipe. This is in my living room. So it's already gone from the outside through my attic, and this is the top of my stovepipe. You can see that it's rusted. It's leaking all the way down. All of these different. This is the inside of the attic up there that's completely flooded around. This is the actual stovepipe itself, and as you can see, it's just pouring in there with the rain. And so this happens with every rain that we get. You can see that constant sturdy flow of water that's just pouring into the stovepipe, and that's from the attic that's coming down to the living room into the wood chimney, inside it, outside it.
And these are the photos?
Yes.
Of that stovepipe?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Foster, was that supposed to happen?
There was, as we've arrived at this point of the contract itself and the work that was being performed, the rain came in sooner than I had hoped, but I couldn't get the job completed until we had that section of silicone flashing to go around the stovepipe. And as the rain came in, I worked every day to address any particular point of water intrusion. And, you know, a roof with corrugated shape, as it is, the boot itself has to contour to that shape. And then that's where you see one of these pictures has, you can see several screws around the silicone ring. And it's my understanding and my belief, based on going up there several times after the water was pointed out, that I just needed to seat those better where the screws hadn't been completely sealed all the way down.
Was that your job?
Yeah, it was part of the installation.
This kept happening, correct, Ms. Rose?
It happened for 3 days in a row.
So what were you doing each time you were called?
I was checking to see, one, that she would point to and I would identify and be able to visually see where the water was coming in. And then secondly, address that particular point, whether it was a fastener, whether it was a gap or anything like that, and improve that to the point where it was waterproof.
Judge Juarez.
One of the things that the contract explains is that there may be additional work necessary depending on what's discovered underneath the roof. Is that correct?
There was framing that was rotten, that had been previously saturated or had gotten wet because of the condition of the roof prior to me arriving. There was some substandard electrical work that was done. And there also was no continuous underlayment, and by underlayment I mean plywood. So we put plywood down underneath that entire half of the house, and then we put what's called a synthetic barrier.
Okay.
That gets nailed down. That's essentially what we call dried in that it's mostly waterproof and can sustain some rain prior to the actual completion of the job.
Isn't one of the just most basic jobs when you're doing a roof is to make sure that doesn't happen?
And I made a concerted effort to make sure that didn't happen. We did get some high winds and some fairly heavy rain.